to be your host as we explore the journey towards a longer, healthier life together. Longevity is a buzzword, folks. Longevity, longevity, longevity. You hear it everywhere, right? Muscle, 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 bone density, movement, exercise, brain health, body health, longevity. Health span versus lifespan. We're going to talk about all of it. I've got a lot to talk about today. First, though, I want to thank you because last week's episode with Dr. Emily Splickle, well, I enjoyed it a lot. She's amazing. She is a forward-thinking medical professional who's come out with the Naboso products, okay, NABOSO.com, insoles, toe spreaders, release balls, toe socks, textured socks, things that can help to wake up your nervous system, wake up your brain so that you get more input, so your brain responds with an immediate higher output to help you stabilize better, move better, balance better, and reduce your fall risk. All right, so I appreciate all the feedback. You know, we had a lot of calls, a lot of emails, texts, and people coming into my clinic wondering about the products. Well, just so you know, in the next, I'd say 2 weeks maximum, I will have many of her products in my clinic. All right, so they'll be available through me. Next Sunday, we'll talk about more of a target date when they'll actually be in the clinic, but it's going to be by the end of the month. So I'm really excited about that. Thank you for all that. All right, upcoming shows. I just want to mention that next week we're going to be talking about neuroplasticity of the brain. You know, the brain is moldable. For as long as we're alive and conscious, we can actually change our brain. Intentionally, we can change how our brain works. It's as simple as maybe you're listening to me right now and you learned something. Guess why you learned it? Because your brain allowed you to learn it through changes in the brain. It's an amazing topic. It's an amazing thing about the brain that it can mold itself as needed to, let's say, learn a new skill, learn a new movement, learn a language, anything. Learn to move better if we're affected by something that causes us to move less than optimal. Help us with memory, cognition, neuroplasticity is amazing. And we also have a special guest coming on next week. He is the founder of SOS Nutrients. I'll talk about them in a little while. His name is Steve Abbey. Steve's going to join me for at least half of the show, and we're going to talk about his product, which I use it, SOS Nutrients. SOS Nutrients. All right, you go to karlsterling.com, Karl with a K, go to the radio show tab, and you'll see the sponsors there. Okay, yes, they are a sponsor. I promote them because I love the product so much. You buy from them, I don't get anything from it, but they get business, and you're going to get a discount. So stay tuned next week for the discount code as we talk to Steve Abbey, because the product he has, all 100% organic nutrients. And he's going to talk specifically about the difference between synthetic nutrients and organic nutrients, whole food nutrients, because there's a big difference. We got some really good brands out there that have a lot of synthetics in them, but they're not helping you as much as the organics will. March 3rd, Dr. Terry Walls. She is a medical professional, a medical doctor based in the UK, England. She lives with a very rare form of multiple sclerosis called PPMS, primary progressive multiple sclerosis. She, through her Walls protocol, has reversed the progression of her PPMS. Also joining me on that show will be Dr. Joe Barry, because he's a big fan of her and the Walls protocol. So kind of like the Bredesen episode a couple of weeks ago, we're going to get the two of them together. And I'm just going to sit here and moderate while they talk. And you're going to learn. You're going to love it. March 10th, Ray Dorsey, University of Rochester. It's going to talk about Parkinson's. He has a great book out there called Ending Parkinson's. And then on March 17th, we have Dr. Michael Joyner from the Mayo Clinic. He's been on Peter Attia's program. Dr. Attia, if you follow him, good, because he's the best. All right, so today's going to be a little shock treatment for you. I want to talk about longevity and health span and goals relating to such items. All right, I'm going to be 63 this year, and I'm thinking about things like, whoa, I see people every day. I see people every day who are in their 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, who many of them are moving very, very well. They're sharp as a tack cognitively. Their memory's good. I also see a lot who aren't doing so well. I see people with severe lack of muscle mass, all kinds of osteoporosis problems. They fall down. Maybe they have a movement disorder. Maybe they just have no diagnosis, but they just aren't doing well. All right? Both categories of these people, they make me think about what is it that I can do to make sure that when I'm 83 in 20 years and 103 in 40 years, because I fully intend on getting there, right? I'm going to get to 100 at least. You're not stopping me, unless a truck hits me or a falling piano from the sky. I'm going to stay around to the best of my ability, do the things to make me get there, all right? Well, that's going to be a large part of what we talk about in the second segment today. It really involves things like exercise, go figure, right? Exercise for your body and your brain, okay? Both independently and then, of course, together. We also have to address the nutritional factor. Are you getting the nutrients that are what you really need? All right? And then there's the psychology behind the success of realizing the goals. This is a really big subject. And I think within my message today, we really want to talk about data. We want to talk about how to get data so we have baseline measurements so we can track progress. It's not that if you start moving, start exercising your brain or your body, that it's going to be any kind of a problem if you don't measure things. But if you can measure things, it's going to help you a lot to track your progress. And there are certain things you can measure that are going to help you to intervene with the absolute best and most optimal programming, not only for exercise, but for nutrition and lifestyle that can get you to your goals faster and safely. All right, so psychology behind exercise, we'll go into that in just a second here. Let's start off just maybe with a minute or so before we go to a break. I want you to think about this during the break. An optimal exercise and nutritional program. We need to have an optimal exercise and nutrition program to realize success. This is going to take focus, discipline, hard work, or at least some work. It doesn't have to be something you hate, though. I mean, you can actually have fun exercising, which we'll also talk about. It takes knowledge on what to do, and it's really helpful to get data to measure what you're doing, all right? Think about these things. I want you to think about your goals. I want you to think about where you want to be 5 years, 10 years, 20 years from now. Is there a task, a goal you want to? Maybe it's you want to get a puppy dog, pick up the puppy dog. I know somebody who wants to do that. All right. His goal is, I want to get a puppy and pick up the puppy. Maybe you want to pick up your grandchild or your great grandchild. Okay. So I want you to think about that. And then we're going to dive into psychology. We're coming back after the break to talk about all this stuff and a whole lot more, including pain management and sleep management today. My name's Karl Sterling. You're listening to Your Health Matters here on News Radio WSYR, 570 AM, 106.9 FM. We'll be back shortly. Thank you.
Daydream. One man's daydream.
I don't know about you, but I'm going to go to bed.
Is the rest of our nightmare.
Joe Biden is way too old to be president.
As the countdown to November continues on News Radio 570 WSYR.
I like that groove. That's a pretty nice groove right there. The snare drum sounds great. Well, I was a drummer in my former life. So let's talk exercise. Let's talk goals. Let's talk psychology around exercise. Why do we do it? Why do we not do it? Oh, my gosh. Well, I could talk about that one all day from personal experience. Okay. At my clinic in Camillus, which is the same building as Dr. Berry, It's called neuromotor training. If you go to karlsterling.com, KarlSterling.com, you can peruse around and see all the stuff we have. If something hits you today and you're interested in maybe coming in and just checking things out, I mean, I don't charge money for you to come in and look. Come in. I want you to see it because I can guarantee you've never seen anything like it before. We have the coolest stuff out there for brain, body, pain management, everything. It's unbelievable. I'm so lucky. I am blessed. Okay, so with all that, we can help you. By the way, my phone number, 315-935-7488. My email's on the website. Again, 315-935-7488. Text, call. If I don't answer, I'll call you back promptly. To get you towards your goals, first of all, you got to know where you're at. It really helps because then we can measure. We have a multitude of tests available at our clinic to measure things like your body composition. So a short way of saying that is, okay, you weigh a certain number of pounds or kilos. We want to look at where the weight resides in your body. All right. Well, we can help you to redistribute. You know, I've been really heavy in my life. I've been, you know, if you round it up to 300 pounds, I was in the 260s, 270s. It was really bad, even higher for a little time. And I lost a lot of weight. I gained muscle. I lost fat. I redistributed weight. Okay. Last year in August, I did my body comp and I realized that I didn't have enough muscle. In 2 months, I worked my butt off. I put on 5 pounds of muscle and my body fat went down by 1.2%. I couldn't believe it. Finally, I was under 20% body fat. I haven't been that in probably 25 years. So it's not rocket science. We can measure this and help you intervene with the right exercise plan. We can also just have you with our force plates made by Kinvent out of Europe. Amazing people. I just actually saw them in Boston yesterday. I was in Boston picking up some really cool equipment we'll talk about in a while. We can have you stand on force plates. We can figure how much weight is distributed on one leg versus the other. We can do a lot of balance testing and standardized testing for balance, memory, cognition. We assess for posture. We have all kinds of different strength tests. We can measure these kilos or pounds, your chest, your core strength, your legs, your grip strength, your overall strength on leg press, on chest press, core pull, and deadlift-like thing. All right, that's on our biodensity machine, which also, by the way, helps to build bone density and muscle mass. We have a slew of cognitive tests and memory tests. But the one that is the best one, and I want to talk about it today, it's the most revealing of the state of your current state of health. Let's call it according to Dr. Peter Attia and Dr. Michael Joyner from Mayo Clinic, he's going to join me again on March 17th, a VO2 metabolic test. Okay, we have a resting test for a resting metabolic test. We also have a VO2 max, or actually it's a submax test. Gives the best snapshot of your current state of health and conditioning. And not only that, but according to Attia and Joyner, this is the best predictor of longevity. Well, what happens if you have a bad test? You intervene with the right stuff because it tells you what to do. And boom, a few months later, you retest. Your numbers are going to change. They're going to get better. Everything's going to look better because you're going to feel better. So with this VO2 max testing we do, all right, first of all, it's almost impossible to get it in the Syracuse area. I know this because I tried, my son tried, other people I know tried. Oh, you know, it's an old system and, you know, it's got to be done at the hospital, the university. That's fine. It's all good. Ours gives a lot more data, though. It's a state-of-the-art system to help you unlock your potential, all right? Maximize your athletic performance or your movement. Understand your body's utilization of oxygen in exchange for energy. That's what we're measuring, folks. We want to see how well is your body using oxygen for energy, all right? This will help to personalize the training plan for you, for your exercises. How much time you're going to spend in zone 2 cardio, like walking briskly, or zone 5, like shaking the battle ropes, or doing power slams with a ball. How much in resistance training are you going to do? What percentage of time each week? Okay, so this is the absolute best way to figure out where you're at and to create the plan of where to go. And we do these tests. You'll, improve your stamina and endurance through the data-driven insights. All right. The VO2 Max test or Submax test measures and gives detailed, personalized recommendations for exercise, nutrition, and lifestyle. You can do these on your choice of a treadmill, stationary bike, or a rowing machine. It measures on the Max test, the movement test, the following: your aerobic capacity, cardiovascular fitness, fat burn efficiency, metabolic rate, recovery capacity, how well you think, let's say your cognitive processing in relation to your breathing during movement, and your stability in relation to breathing during movement. It would also give you a biological age versus chronological age. When I redo my tests in the very near future, probably this coming week, I hope I'm younger than I am. When I did it a few months ago, I was 57, but I'm really 62. I'm hoping I'm more like 50 years old now. I don't know, but I'm working hard. I think, you know what? Even if it's not where I want it to be, then I know what to do to get to where I have to go. Because I know I have more muscle mass now, so it's going to direct me on where to spend my time. You also get a VO2 Max score, and I'll interpret this score for you. All right, so to make this possible for as many people as possible, there are 4 levels of movement intensity that are available to choose from, okay, on each device, whether it's treadmill, bike, or rower. We have beginner, easy, medium, or difficult. Might be like a real, professional athlete, college athlete, somebody who's highly athletic comes in, does difficult, where we have a lot of people in their 80s doing the beginner or easy, but we still get the relevant information. All right, so this whole thing is done in an hour, both tests. You come in, you pay $250, all right, $250, which will change everything for you because you'll never get the data like this in any other fashion. You won't get it, all right? 10-minute seated resting test, followed by, 9 to 12 minutes on the chosen device for the Max test. Resting test metrics are different, all right? We got metabolic rate, fat burn efficiency, metabolic fitness, heart health, lung health, cognition, and your posture, seated posture, all right? So all you have to do, besides call me or text me to set up this test, I'm going to tell you right now, it's the best thing you're going to do for yourself. You might go out and get 3 massages this month, right? $80 a piece. Well, it's $240, $250. You can actually have a plan on what to do. It's worth it, folks. If you can find the means to do it and you're willing to part with $250, you're going to get the best assessment of your overall state of health right now. You're going to get the best plan of action on where to go. All right, so all you have to do is fast 3 hours prior, no coffee or stimulants, no food prior to the testing. You can drink water, and it's recommended all the way up till test time, so that's cool. Bottom line is data is king. It allows us to get a baseline data, all the stuff we do, not just the VO2 stuff, all right? Create the best and most effective strategy for you to get to your goals. If you don't have data, you're guessing. It's like my friend Brent Brookbush says, we'll talk about him in a minute, in his institute. If you're not assessing, you're guessing. Why waste your time doing things that won't get you towards your goals? Why would you do that? I have people who say, I want to get more fit before I do the test. Why? What if you do the wrong stuff? I was doing the wrong stuff. Then I did the test, and I started doing the right stuff. Now I'm feeling better. All right, so anyways, we're going to get back into the psychology here after the break. I had a couple of minutes to talk, though. I'd like to have you think about this. I had a lady come in. I love her dearly. We love when she comes in. My right-hand person, Elizabeth Brusa, she's so good. She works so well with people. She does a fantastic job. Between her and me, we got you covered. We're going to help you. But we do want you to come in. We want you to maybe think about the following things. and I'm going to go to this lady I was thinking of that Elizabeth and I really we love everybody who comes in. If you're not taking action towards your goals, what's holding you back? Or is it maybe more like, who is holding you back? There's fear a lot of times, taking that first step. Now, this lady who came in September for a workshop, there's a thing that resonated with her, a thing that I said. And what I said was, whose burden do you want to be down the road? Well, that can sound really negative. She's like, that just scared me. She came in, she paid for 10 sessions, and boom, there you go. And she's on a path now. She's doing great. I'm so proud of her because I don't take that step for granted because I've been there. So scary to make the call. Scary, but I'm not going to bite you. I'm going to help you. We're going to embrace you. And we're going to help you because we care. So fear of a trainer? Don't fear us. Or maybe your doctor told you there's nothing you can do, or you're too old, or who? You actually believe this? No. Another big one before we go to break is what other people might think. Oh my gosh, they're going out again. They're going to exercise. And they're going to try to do this. Oh gosh, that's just, you can't do that. Nobody can do that. Nobody's going to make, no. I have a motto. This is my life. I take care of myself so I can be better for others. I don't want to be a burden for anyone down the road. And quite honestly, I say this with no disrespect to anybody. What other people think of what I'm doing is really none of my business. If I'm not hurting anybody and I'm getting better myself so I can be better for others, well, I don't really care what anybody thinks because I'm going to do this. And I want you to think about that too. So, I just want you to just get started, because once you get started, you get the energy to keep going, and that's the beauty of it. All right? We're going to come back and talk about a lot more after a break. Okay, you're listening to Your Health Matters. Karl Sterling here on News Radio 570 WSYR, karlsterling.com, 315-935-7488. We'll be back after this short break. All right. So if I was going to do music again, I want to play guitar. I'm looking at Dave here, just like drop D tuning, especially. That's another subject. Okay. Yeah, I was a drummer, and I had a lot of great gigs. It was fantastic. As a jazz drummer, more so contemporary jazz. I mean, I played everything. So, you got to pay your bills, so you got to play all the stuff. But what I like about it is that thing that's in my head of this improv and creativity. Well, I can extend this, and I do, into my business, into my creativity with programming, especially when we're talking multitasking, dual tasking, and really, really getting creative. So, yep, I transferred the music stuff, and I improv in movement now, and it's really beautiful. I'm really so lucky. So we were talking about psychology, getting started. Oh, man, it's tough. I mean, literally, okay, here's how it works. Rarely does the urge ever come upon me to, I want to work out. I never want to work out. I really, 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 really don't. I'm always trying to think of a way to put it off and justify it. And I promise you I am not exaggerating. Elizabeth Brewer, my partner over at work, who she's my right-hand person, she will attest to this. And so will people who come in. It's like, well, I got to go up to CrossFit. But guess what? You got to do it. I can't not do it. Because if I don't do it, I'm going to go back to where I was. I can't do that. So I have a thing that I say. It's and I came up with it a long time ago. It's called just get started. Because when you start doing anything, you'll almost always get the energy to keep doing it. If I start walking, I'll get the energy to go. If I start CrossFit, I'll get the energy. I last time I was there a few days ago, I was definitely like 10, 15 minutes into the workout. And I kind of wanted to just leave. But I'm not going to leave. I can't do that. I mean, that'll look bad, right? I don't want to look bad. I don't really care if I look bad. I just knew that if I gave up, it would be ridiculous because nothing's going to kill me. And I don't want to be how I used to be, so overweight, because I didn't feel good back then and my energy was low and I wanted to take a couple naps a day. I can't do that anymore. Fortunately, we're too busy for me to take a nap during the day anymore. I used to, just go in a corner in the clinic and take a nap, but we can't do that anymore. We're too busy. So I want you to be thinking too, what's holding you back? Or is somebody holding you back? Are you holding you back? Are you fearing anything? I want to tell you right now, you come to us, you're going to be welcomed, you're going to be embraced with a warmth and an authenticity that we genuinely take seriously. The fact you walked in the door, made the phone call, sent the text, left a message, talk with me, whatever, get in there, do some testing and get started. All right, so remember that because we're here to help. The psychology, whether you come and see me or not, though, it stands that if you get started, you'll probably get the energy to keep going. All right. I go to Smoky Hollow CrossFit in Baldwinsville. John Pine, the owner, and Keisha, his wife. Amazing people. Plus, I'm not getting paid for this. They're not paying me anything. I'm saying this because I love that place. And I was scared to death to go to CrossFit 2 years ago in April when I started. I was scared to death. CrossFit, you got to be out of your mind. That's like crazy stuff. No, it's not. It's not crazy stuff because there are modifications and the coaches are so good. You got Griff, you got Jack, you got John, and I don't know the other ones because I don't go to those classes, but all of them are really good and they help you to modify. They care too. That might be another option. You might want to check out that place. It's awesome. And I can guarantee you one thing, you're going to feel better. You're going to feel better. Whether you do that, you come to me, you just start doing something on your own, you're going to feel better. When it's all said and done, you'll feel more energetic. You'll probably think more clearly. If you have any kind of depression happening, you probably will diminish that some because the hormones like the endocannabinoids and the serotonin and these things that happen when you exercise, the neurochemicals that are produced are going to make you feel better almost all the time. Well, then you get into this, okay, I worked out twice this week, and then you skip a week, or you skip 2 weeks. Or in some cases, some of the people we have, not many, there's only like 3 or 4 of them. Where are you? By the way, I'm reaching out to you folks. I know you might be busy, but where are you? I haven't seen you since New Year's, if that. You got to get in. You got to make that time. You invested the money. Get in. Come on. Come on. Do it. Make yourself go. Make the time. All right? Because only you could do this. You're the one taking control. We'll help you every step of the way, but, you're the one who's got to do it. Okay. I didn't plan on going on so long about psychology, but you know what? Sometimes you got to go with the flow. I was a jazz drummer. What do you want? And improvise a little bit. I want to talk about an institute. If anybody out there is looking to become a personal trainer, there's a place I want you to check out. First of all, just go to my site. It's karlsterling.com. All right, Karl with a K. Go to the radio tab, radio show tab. Look at the sponsors. Click on Brookbush Institute. All right. So, yes, Brent Brookbush, Dr. Brookbush, is a very, very good friend of mine. He's tough, though, man. I got to tell you, that guy, I started teaching for him a few years ago. I talked him into letting me teach for him because I knew that I could book him out of New York City. So I got workshops all over the country, North America, England. I got him out of the city. What I'm telling you, man, I'm a master trainer with National Academy of Sports Medicine. All right. It sounds really fancy, like, big deal and stuff. It's great. It's great. That's a great certification. So is ACSM. So is, WITS, I think, is good. ACE is okay. And I don't mean to call anybody out. I never mean to say anything to diminish anybody because they're all good. But I'm going to tell you right now, folks, if you're looking to be a personal trainer, you got to go to the Brookbush Institute. Go to my site, radio tab, click on Brookbush, and go there and check it out. Look at all the advantages you're going to get there. I can tell you after teaching for Dr. Brookbush for 4 years, and there's also, I don't know how many courses here. What are we looking at? We're looking at let's see. We had 20 plus accreditations. How many videos do we have here? Sorry, I actually didn't get organized for this exactly. Sorry, folks, over 500 videos, 150 plus courses. This institute for $20 a month, $19.99 a month, is going to be the best investment you ever made if you want to be a personal trainer or you're continuing education as a personal trainer, physical therapist. And I don't know how many states he's approved in for physical therapy, but it's more states than not. And it's always 5 out of 5-star reviews. This is the place you want to check out. It's the best deal, and it's the best education. And when I say Brent's tough, it's because he wants you to do well. He puts you through the paces. You're going to come out with the most information you possibly can get, the highest standards, the highest quality, and go check him out, folks, because there's nothing like it. So, wow, radio minutes go so fast. We're going to head out for a break. We'll be back to talk a little bit more in the last segment about pain management, sleep management. You're listening to Karl Sterling here, hosting this wonderful show I love doing called Your Health Matters. Remember, karlsterling.com. That's the place to go. Karl with a K, 570 WSYR. We'll be back shortly. Thank you.
My memory is fine.
President Biden's faculties in his memory.
You can't put two sentences together.
They say that you were too old.
Remember,
I'm not going nuts.
we're your 2024 election headquarters. News Radio 570 WSYR.
All right, we're back for the last segment here of Your Health Matters. So I was talking with producer Dave here on the break. Dave, did you know that a third of people 85 years old and up have dementia or Alzheimer's?
That's a very interesting topic.
Yeah, I mean, that means 2/3 don't have it, but still, it's a number that it's a biggie.
So say that one more time, just in case anybody was listening didn't hear that.
Yeah, 33% of people 85 years old and up have dementia.
Yeah. So I had an uncle that passed away from Alzheimer's and dementia, and it can affect the family pretty deeply. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, my maternal grandmother, same thing. I mean, it's so sad. It's really gut-wrenching. 2 weeks ago, I was in Mexico City, and we were on Teams, and Dale Bredesen was on with Dr. Barry. And the good news is if we get moving, take care of our physical body, get blood flowing, oxygen to the brain and the body. Oxygen is life, movement is life, get lymphatic fluid going, and just keep moving. The people who do the best, they're moving, and they're using their brain. They're challenging themselves. That helps to delay the onset. I got a story for you, Dave.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So it has to do with Doritos. Sorry, Doritos. I actually love you so much. So I never want to throw anybody under the bus or any company, but Doritos.
Where's Dr. Barry when he?
Oh, I love you, Doritos. I love you. Well, let's talk about Doritos, okay? And I think it was October 2013, New York Post. There was another one in the New York Times. Basically, it talked about this. I can just paraphrase and summarize real quick. Doritos was kind of busted in a way, not in a legal fashion, but you know that they actually engineer Doritos and thousands of other foods.
Oh, yeah.
With chemicals to trick your brain to not think you're full.
It's a very good trick.
Well, it works because you can't
yeah.
eat just one Dorito. You have to eat all of them. Don't get me a big bag. I will eat all of them. I can't stop. Half of the calories are from fat. So it kind of like melts in your mouth, sort of, and it feels like the calories are just vanishing.
Yeah.
But what's really interesting is, and sad, is that there's a hormone called leptin. You know, when I was in nutrition school, started in 2012 at SU, we had this, I wrote a paper about it.
Okay.
Doritos and thousands of other brands out there, they put chemicals in. It's called food science or food engineering. And it's designed to interrupt leptin so it doesn't send the signal to your brain that you've had enough and you're full. So you just keep eating.
Wow.
And then eventually, you know, you're just so full you can't believe it, but you eat a whole bag. That would be me. I mean, I love those things.
Yeah, have you seen what I look like? So there you go.
You look fine. Well, the reason I'm saying that is because this stuff doesn't assimilate well in your body. If a calorie comes in and it's not a natural substance,
Yeah.
I'm not a doctor, so I can't tell you what happens, but I know enough to know this. Your body won't recognize it as food. It's like, oh, this is something I'm not supposed to have. I don't know what to do with it. Oh, I think I'll send it to fat cells in the pancreas. Let's spike your insulin. Let's give you a high blood sugar or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you do it repetitively, you just never stop, and you have insulin resistance, high blood sugar, diabetes. Oh my gosh. And then all of a sudden you're high risk for, you know, I was there. I mean, I was high risk for cancers, heart problems, all kinds of problems, neuropathy. I did have neuropathy, a little bit of neuropathy at one point, but it's all gone now because through diet and exercise, the good news is, even though I got a few pounds I'd like to get off of me, you can take care of this stuff. And, of course, eating better. Isn't it wild, though?
It's wild and it's very true. Again, not to use myself as an example, but take a look at where I'm at, right?
Dave, you're fine. I mean,
I could, again, to your point, could be a little bit better. I've fluctuated with weight, exercising here or there. Before the pandemic, Dr. Barry used to make fun of me and say, David, producer Dave's drinking the Mountain Dew Not. Why are you always drinking that? Right? So
I didn't know he called it that, but he comes up with good ones.
He
man.
loves calling it Mountain Dew Not.
Mountain Dew Not.
So during the pandemic, I took, health very serious. So I started drinking a lot of water almost every single solitary day, more than the 6 glasses, working out. And then the last few months, I kind of let myself go. So I got to get back into it. Like you were talking about earlier in your show. It's all up to me. Nobody else can make you do it, right? So,
well, with CrossFit, the other thing that helps me is my daughter goes there, Ashley, right? So,
yeah. So you got a partner.
I do not want to let her down.
You
hear that, Ashley? I want you to still hold me accountable there, young lady.
That's another good motivation.
I got grandchildren to be active for, too.
Yeah.
Hey, I want to talk about sleep management real quick. This is
Absolutely.
like a 1-minute thing. We got a couple minutes, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Sleep management. First of all, I want to tell you a little bit about sleep. I'm just going to blow this past you real quick. Here's what it is. Stanford University, Andrew Huberman reports the following. To help yourself set up the sleep-wake cycle more effectively, first thing in the morning when you get up, when there's natural daylight, go outside. Not through a window. Go outside, even if for like 30 seconds or a minute. It might be cold, but whatever. You'll live, right? Go outside. Don't fall. Don't slip. Just look up at the sky, not at the sun. Don't look at the sun. Look at the sky, even if it's cloudy. Natural light coming from above will hit the bottom receptors in your retina. Those receptors in the bottom of your retina are different than the ones in other parts of the retina. And because the retina and the eye are actually part of the brain, they're not just an extension of it, they're part of the brain, then it sets up the cortisol cycle to produce, which sets up about a 14 to 17 hour wake cycle before sleep. Great, we need cortisol. Too much is bad, not enough is not good either. Before you go to bed, days are a little bit short right now, but still, just before dark when it's still light, go outside again. 30 seconds, a minute, 2 minutes, look up. Don't burn your eyes in the sun. Because that light coming in and hitting those bottom receptors is going to activate melatonin production in the brain and help you get to sleep. Now, try that. Do it every day, every night. If it doesn't work, call me. I have sleep management therapy It's called frequency therapy. It's a little patch you put in your head. You're going to probably be out like a light. Okay, we got to wrap it up, folks. Pain management. We have things to help. We help with pain because we help to diminish inflammation, whether it's chronic or acute situation. Get blood flow, oxygen flow. Holy cow, I made it through all my notes. I've never done that in a show yet. You call me up. It's 315 5626. I'm going over. It's 315-935-7488. My name's Karl Sterling, karlsterling.com. And it's been great to be here. Thanks for joining me, Dave. Let's do that again sometime.
Yeah, no problem. Anytime.
I have 10 seconds left, folks. Keep moving. Call us up, karlsterling.com. 315-935-7488. You're listening to Your Health Matters. News Radio 570 WSYR. Thank you so much for listening.
The proceeding was a paid program by Karl Sterling. The content of this show is that of Karl Sterling and does not represent the views of the station or iHeartMedia. Some of the information contained in this program has not been approved by the FDA, nor is it intended to diagnose, prevent, treat, or cure any diseases. Information has been for general information only, and before considering anything discussed, you should contact your doctor or primary care physician.